Of a recent rise in violence after months of decreasing conflict. Correspondent David McDougall explains extremists are utilizing a mix of old and new tactics to incite violence in 2008.
It's a sound every Iraqi dreads. After the explosions comes the grieving. And in the past few weeks, it's a scene that's been repeated regularly in a number of cities across the country. It's true, violence has dropped by 60% since last June, thanks in part to the US troop surge. But at the start of 2008, the drop has stopped.
While we would all agree that we begin 2008, the Iraqi people begin 2008, many of them in a better situation than perhaps they saw last year begin. There is still a great deal of progress that's necessary, still a tough fight ahead of us.
One of the many tough fights the Americans face this year is maintaining surge levels of security, even as US troop numbers gradually fall. And that's already proving to be a challenge. Some of the latest data from the military show suicide vest attacks are increasing, along with Iraqi civilian and security forces deaths. The rise is only slight, but the sounds of gunfire and bombings are once again noticeably louder here in Baghdad.
Walking around in downtown Baghdad still comes with a great deal of risk. I can only come here because I know this neighborhood well, we're spending a limited amount of time on the ground, and because there's a security team standing just off camera. I can't think of a single other neighborhood in Baghdad where we wouldn't be in great danger of suicide car bombs, kidnappings or drive-by shootings. It's true, the surge has made Baghdad a safer city. It hasn't yet made it a safe city.
50 miles south of Baghdad, more than 2 million Shiites are gathering in the holy cities of Karbala and Najaf, celebrating the Ashura festival. It's attracted a number of bloody attacks in the past, as Sunni extremists tried to exacerbate sectarian divisions during the Holy Week. But Ashura only explains away the last few days of violence. A blast at a Shiite mosque yesterday, for example, left 11 people dead. The longer-term trend of increased bloodshed is more difficult to explain. The focus of many recent attacks has been so-called concerned citizens groups, American-backed Sunni militias. The US likes to point the finger of blame at Al-Qaeda, but there's bound to be a measure of infighting too, as rival militia leaders slug it out for supremacy. And it could be argued, a sense of surge fatigue might be hitting American forces, who've been relentlessly maintaining their high levels of security for many months, a job that's undeniably mentally and physically draining over extended deployments. But the overall picture is far from doom and gloom. Life for ordinary Iraqis has become much safer in the past year. Shops and restaurants have reopened. Streets are crowded once again, with people less afraid to go to the markets, to work, or to send their children to school. But a sense of pessimism is ingrained in the Iraqi psyche, and few will be ready to assume that lasting peace is just around the corner, especially when they hear the renewed sounds of violence. In Baghdad, David McDougall, Fox News.
Join Chief